A Division II team moving up to Division I, that being the New Haven Chargers out of the NE10. And this is a move that I think for a lot of people familiar with that landscape up there in the Northeast, they kind of saw this one coming. Everything that I have kind of seen and heard is that New Haven had been inquiring about a move like this for quite some time, and now, for whatever reason, just ended up being the correct time for them to go and make this jump. They will be leaving the NE10 at the D2 level, joining the NEC, the Northeast Conference, at the Division I level, where they will compete as an FCS or Football Championship subdivision institution. And pretty quick turnaround on this. And as I go through some of the information here, University of New Haven has accepted an invitation to become a full member of the Northeast Conference when it begins its transition from Division II to Division I on July 1st. We're talking less than 2 months away, they will already start their transition to Division I. And what's even more surprising is that New Haven sponsors 20 sports, and they'll be integrated into NEC schedules beginning this year, with the exception of football. So football is the one sport that will not be competing in the NEC at the Division I level this fall out of all the sports at New Haven, which I certainly, from a logistics standpoint, understand. That would have been so many hurdles. People probably having schedules fully finalized. To get something like that finished up would have been incredibly difficult, especially you look at the NE10 and some of the non-conference games that they're playing, you would have left a lot of teams out to dry. But it is weird, nonetheless, that football is the one team that will not be going up this fall to play a Division I slate. The Chargers will become a full Division I member in 2028-2029, that season. Football's addition to the conference schedule is still to be determined. So we don't know. You would imagine that next fall would be their inaugural year competing at the D1 level, so to speak, as a transitional member, or whatever the correct term is. But you don't know. We don't know yet. It hasn't been confirmed. So New Haven will not be limiting its rosters. All student athletes will remain on their respective teams, provided they maintain good academic standing and meet the standard expectations set by their head coach, which is consistent with any collegiate program. So that is, as I punch my microphone, that's a neat deal, right? It's not like, okay, we're going to Division I, we're going to bring in all these different recruits now because we have money to throw around, and by the way, all of you guys that were on the team, gone. Right? That's absolutely not what's happening, which is good. And I think it's worth noting, there's more than one Smurf turf in college football now at the D1 level. Obviously, this has been here. And even though it is FCS, we got more than one Smurf turf now at D1. So Boise State, look the hell out. I know Boise State has actually tried suing a couple different high schools and maybe some other universities even. Don't believe that's really got much traction, to be honest. But this looks pretty similar color-wise. That blue's got to be pretty spot on. I don't know. Neat stadium, though, for the Chargers. Definitely not jumping off the page as a Division I caliber stadium, but I'm sure that's on their list of things that definitely need to be renovated or reimagined to make this jump, because this facility as it stands is just not jumping out as a Division I facility. It really is middle of the road and middle tier for Division II facilities. A lot of things that need to happen over there, but they thought it was the right move right now. And at the D2 level, the Chargers have had a lot of success in the Northeast 10. They had back-to-back conference titles the last 2 years, 34-11 going back to that 2021 season. So in that last span here of these 4 seasons, so to speak, 34-11. That'd be 5 seasons. Correct myself there. That's a really impressive streak. They haven't had too much success in the playoffs. They won a game in 2021 and one in 2018, so they have at least gotten to that second round a few times. But this is a team that, if we're being incredibly honest, plays in one of the worst conferences in D2 football right now, and that's just objectively speaking by looking at playoffs and kind of win-loss type of scenarios. Not to take anything away from them, though. Even if you're not in the great conference, they're winning the conference very, very often, and they're doing so in a pretty dominant way, and they have started to schedule some more competitive out-of-conference games. So it's not to say this is not a program that can make that jump and go on to have success at the next level. It's just saying temper expectations. The NE10 is not the GLIAC. It's not the MIAA. There's a little bit of a different type of standing over there, but they're still having to go and play some solid teams year in and year out. Assumption is another one out of the NE10 that's got a good football program that roll out every year, and there are others inside of that conference that have shown some promise. But that is the cliff notes on New Haven jumping to Division I. If you guys have questions, definitely let me know in the comments. I'll try and answer as many as I can, but that's kind of the quick reporting on that. Wanted to get that out there, and then maybe we'll do a deep dive and talk with some people from the program in a later episode about why the decision came through right now.